Good morning. It is Monday the 8th of June 2020, episode 8 of Notes from a Scottish Author with me, Barry Hutchison, aka JD Kirk. I am just about a mile north of Fort William at the moment, quite close to the road. I'm walking the dog again. We've just walked back up to past Happy Valley where we were yesterday, day before? Yesterday, I think. You can see Ben Nevis in the background behind me here. That's it, the big one. The highest mountain in the UK. And today I'm going to talk about why I decided to focus all my attention on self-publishing rather than sticking with traditional publishing as I had done previously. For about 10 years I wrote books for HarperCollins, Penguin Random House, Nosy Crow, Stripes, various other publishers around the world. And it was fine, it was good. You know, I was always working. But I never really knew kind of 2 months ahead if I'd have money to pay my rent. You kind of get a reasonably small advance, often broken into 3 stages. So one payment when you sign the contract, one payment when you submitted the book, and one payment when the book was published. And sometimes those things can be 2-3 years apart. So it was always quite difficult kind of making ends meet. Most of my income actually came from doing speaking events in schools and libraries and book festivals and the like. And that's the case for most children's authors, certainly in the UK. There are a few who, usually celebrities already, who make lots of money, get big advances, and the rest of us kind of just scrabble around at the bottom. So I'd done that for 10 years, and then, as I mentioned in I think the third, I self-published a book called Space Team. Comedy, science fiction, space adventure. I published it on Kindle only to start with, just to see how it would go, and it went really well. And by the time the third book was out, which was February 2017, I was earning more in a day from those books than I was earning in 6 months from 12 books with HarperCollins, or 10 books with HarperCollins. So I realised then that there was potential here for this to be my main source of income. I also enjoyed the fact that I had complete creative control. Often when you're working with publishers, you're kind of beholden to not just the editor, but more often the sales and marketing department, who will say, well, we like it, but can you put a unicorn in it, because unicorns are big at the moment, or we know it's a standalone book for 9-year-olds, can you make it a series of 6 or 7-year-olds? Because that's what's hot at the moment. And I was getting kind of tired of that, if I'm honest. But I needed the money, so I would always do it. And so a lot of the books I put out were not necessarily the books I would want to have put out. I'm very proud of all of them, but they weren't necessarily the books I started out wanting to write. So what I discovered through self-publishing was that I could write anything I wanted and put it out, and if people bought it, they bought it, and if they didn't, they didn't. But there was no one telling me that this wasn't going to work. So I kind of doubled down then. I set up my own publishing imprint, my own limited company, publishing company, which publishes all the Space Team books, the Dan Dedman Space Detective series, the Sidekicks book, which soon will be the Sidekick series. I'm working on book 2 at the moment. And it also publishes the JD Kirk books. So it publishes all my work. It started publishing some other authors too. Alex Smith, David J. Gatward, John Mayhew, or J.E. Mayhew. I apologise, John, for giving your name away. But yes, it's publishing other authors too. And it's growing nicely. It's doing well. It does audio, paperback, ebook. Ebook's still the main driving product that we do. But we're branching into as many other kind of territories as possible. We're doing a comic series based on Space Team, which I'm writing. I'll talk about my comics work maybe tomorrow. But yeah, it's going well. And I started it with no money. I had no money to spend, basically. So I bootstrapped the whole thing. I learned cover design myself. So I designed the first covers for Space Team. I already had a pretty good understanding of story because I'd done all these books before. There's a train passing in the background. So I kind of self-edited. I got people to help find typos, of which there were many. And I just put it out myself with no marketing budget, no production budget, and it started to make money. So Space Team, or the publishing company, has never been in the red. It's always any money spent in the publishing company is money those books have already made. I didn't advertise until I had made enough money to pay for adverts. So it's all kind of self-funded, or self-funded with time rather than money, because I had no money, as I say. So that's it. The company is called Zertex Media Ltd. Zertex are the villains in the Space Team series. They're a global galactic evil corporation, and I decided it'd be funny to name the company after them. So we are Zertex Media Ltd in the UK, and soon to be branching out into making other things as well. Zertex Games is coming soon, and I will keep you posted on that at some point. But for now, my arm is bloody killing me. I need to go and get on with some work. So bye for now, and I will see you tomorrow.